We see Brave Bird. Oh no, Brave Bird from Azumarill with +3 attack. Oh, Roserade had no chance. Down it goes. Welcome back to MetroMania, and it's Heat 8 this week, baby! We made it through the heats for Season 11. Last week, Azumarill and Azurill absolutely dominated. They had a lovely back and forth against Roserade and Budew, but they came out victorious and made their way to the quarterfinals, and this week we find out their opponents as the teams of Elekid and Electivire take on Cleffa and Clefable. So here we go with the final heat of MetroMania Season 11. Who thought we'd get here? Well, people watching weekly thought we'd get here because they were watching weekly and they hoped that the series wouldn't just abruptly end. I wouldn't do that to you. I'd always finish a season of MetroMania. Make of that what you will. Here we see Shift Gear, though, from Elekid, starting things off with a stat buff, going to increase its attack and its speed, I believe. Speed by 2 stages, attack by 1 stage. Elekid looking to increase its arsenal and remain the fastest thing on the field. Electivire goes for Aeroblast, Shades of Lugia to start things off. On to Cleffa there for big damage. Cleffa got to be careful. Here comes big bulky Clefable, though. Clefable's going to go for Recycle, but it's not used its berry yet, so it's wasted a turn. So now it's over to Cleffa with the follow-up. Goes for Electro Web onto its electric-type opponents there. Looking to slow them down a little bit, though. Little bit of chip damage to start things off. Never a bad idea. So down goes the speed of Electivire. Elekid's speed goes down, but it's still at +1 at least. So just a little bit of chip damage to start things off, but Cleffa very much suffering after that Aeroblast. And now we see Elekid starting off the next turn. What's it going to do here? Going to go for Milk Drink. Ah, that's a waste of a turn. Restoring its HP back up to maximum from 5 hit points. 5 hit points it restored there. Over to Clefable now. What's Clefable going to do? Are these 3 speed type? I mean, Elekid's obviously the fastest. Lovely kiss from Clefable onto Elekid there. Going to put it to sleep. Elekid has base speed of 95, as does Electivire with Gyro Ball. But remember, Electivire's at -1 speed, though. There's that super effective Gyro Ball, though. Not a great deal of damage, though, done to Cleffa because, of course, Electivire is faster than Cleffa. And now we see Cleffa going for Meteor Mash, which is not going to be very effective, but has a chance to increase Cleffa's attack for what it's worth. And it is said that Cleffa came to Earth on a Meteor, so that's that's a nice little move. Clefable has base speed, for those wondering, and Cleffa has base 15 speed, for those wondering. So Elekid is fast asleep. Over to Clefable. Hit that subscribe button if you're awake right now. There's that failed fake out. Turn on all notifications as well so you never miss an episode of MetroMania or anything on my channel. Here's Power Split from Electivire onto Clefable there. Sharing power. That's nice. It's always good to share, kiddos. And now we see Cleffa, who's going to go for a takedown. Nice standard straightforward takedown there onto Electivire for a bit of chip damage. But you know what? Cleffa is doing the work right now. Clefable not doing so much, but Cleffa is definitely putting the work in for its team. Elekid still fast asleep after that lovely kiss from Clefable. Who knew Clefable's kisses were so powerful? Probably some creep on DeviantArt. Here's Clefable, though, with agility, increasing its speed. You wanna get involved and do some damage here, mate, because your teammate is putting in all the work. Here comes Electivire now, looking to retaliate. Electivire is going to go for Nightshade for a guaranteed 50 hit points of damage. And it's going for Cleffa. You see, they know. This team knows that Cleffa is putting in all the work for its team. Here comes Cleffa, who's going to go for Blast Burn, avoided by Elekid. How do you avoid something if you're fast asleep? What's that about? Pokemon, sort that out. Sleeping Pokemon should have, like, literally 0 evasiveness at all. They're asleep. Here comes Clefable, though. Clefable's going to go for Poison Jab, maybe hoping to put a timer on one of its opponents. The Poison Jab is on Elekid, so can't poison because Elekid is asleep. But big damage to Elekid, though, as well. And now we see Electivire, who's going to follow up with Mind Reader. Wants to guarantee a hit on the next turn. Mind Reader landing on Clefable there. So whatever Electivire goes for next turn, it's going to land if it's a move, I suppose. Here's Dark Pulse, though, from Cleffa. Onto which opponent? Onto Elekid there for a good chunk of damage. Takes it down to less than half its max HP. Of course, can't flinch it because it's the last thing moving on the field. But here we go with Elekid waking up now. What's Elekid going to do now? It's back in business. Elekid is going to use Growth and increase its attack and its special attack stat by 1 stage apiece. So it's now at +2 attack, +1 special attack. So make of that what you will. Over to Clefable now, the second fastest on the field. Clefable is ready with a power swap. So it's going to swap power with Electivire. I hate these moves so much. Anyone ever found decent uses for those? Although swapping its attack and special attack, didn't Electivire have increased attack or something like that? Probably. Using Poltergeist though, attacking Clefable with its Leper Berry there. So Clefable is going to suffer the effects of that Poltergeist right there. Big damage to Clefable, a big old chunk of damage. Now over to Cleffa, now the workhorse of its team with Last Resort, but it fails. Unfortunate there for Cleffa. And now it's anybody's game. This really could go either way at the moment. We are in the early days of this Heat 8. We see Elekid going for Wrap, just some standard Wrap damage. It's on Clefable, which is a smart play, because if you use Wrap on Cleffa, it'll probably knock it out at the end of this turn, whereas using it on Clefable means it's going to suffer that Wrap damage for a much longer time and be worn away. We see Curse from Clefable, lowering its speed that it raised earlier by 1 stage, so it's now at +1 speed, but increasing its attack and defense by 1 stage, so can't be too mad at that, but it needs to start putting in some work and trying to take its opponents down if it's going to take this round. We see Electrify from Electivire onto Cleffa there, electrifying its moves. We'll see how that comes into play moving forward. Here comes Cleffa though, who's going to go for Power Split. For God's sake, this is really annoying. Gonna swap all special attack and sharing its power or whatever bollocks that does. Here we see the Wrap damage on Clefable, bringing it closer and closer to half its max HP. The Wrap paying dividends. Like I say, it probably would have knocked out Cleffa, but Clefable has to suffer for longer. Here comes Elekid once again. Elekid's going to go for Roar, but that fails in this type of competition. So now Clefable has an opportunity to capitalize on that mistake. Goes for a Noble Roar onto Electivire there, which is going to lower its attack and its special attack, I think, harshly? No, just by 1 stage apiece. A special attack and physical attack down 1 stage apiece. Over to Electivire, though. What will it do in response? Goes for Baby Doll Eyes. More stat drop in. And is that going to land on... Oh, it's on Clefable. So down goes Clefable's attack by 1 stage that it increased in the previous turn with the Curse. And now we see Cleffa once again going for Sunny Day. Interesting play there, increasing the power of fire-type moves, reducing the power of water-type moves, making moves like Solar Beam and Solar Blade into 1-turn moves rather than 2-turn. There's the Wrap damage on Clefable, bringing it down to less than half its max HP now, so Clefable definitely feeling the effect. Elekid and Electivire looking very strong in this opening round of MetroMania Season 11 Heat 8. Elekid goes for Fell Stinger, not going to be very effective on the fairy-type opponents, although if it does knock out Cleffa like it does, it's going to get an attack increase, I believe, something like that with Fell Stinger. It's been a while. Up goes Elekid's... Oh, it gets a +3? Has that always been the case? +3 attack boost? Speaking of attack boost, here's a Dragon Dance from Clefable. My word, Elekid's at +3 attack? I swear Fell Stinger was like 1 stage of attack. 3? Or does it maximize its attack now? Because drastically can be anywhere between 3 and 6 stages, or 3 and 12 stages if we're being pedantic. We see Disable. Oh, that's the writing on the wall right there. Disable from Electivire. The Wrap damage still in effect. Clefable is going to struggle itself to death this turn. We know that to be certain. So get ready for Electivire and Elekid to take the first round. I can't see a way that Clefable removes that disable effect before it knocks itself out. We see Hail from Elekid, which is going to chip away at Clefable even more than that Wrap damage. I don't even think Clefable has 25% of its max HP left now. I think it knocks itself out this turn. Goes for the struggle. Big damage to Electivire. Almost takes itself out, but it's about to get knocked out either by Electivire or the Wrap damage or the Hail. Bolt Strike, the overkill from Electivire. What a heal move right there. That's going to knock out Clefable. Round 1 goes to Elekid and Electivire. And now it's time to hear from our lovely sponsors.
Hey up everybody, it's time to talk about G Fuel. It's an energy formula, it's got 0 sugar, it's barely any calories and it fills you with bags of energy. What a bloody good shout, mate. I'm drinking Starfruit today, it's wonderful. Oh, it's really refreshing, very, very tasty. Use code ACE, save yourself some money on any of the wonderful G Fuel flavors that are out there. There are so many, there's something literally for everybody, but not for people under 18. This is for adults only because it contains caffeine and children do not need caffeine. So adults only. Drink it responsibly as well. Don't be a dickhead. But yes, use code ACE, save yourself some money on G Fuel. Helps me and it helps you, which is just banging really, isn't it?
Welcome back. It is now round 2 of the final heat of MetroMania Season 11. Elekid and Electivire are up 1-0 against Cleffa and CLEFABLE. Cleffa and CLEFABLE, of course, need to win this round to equalize and therefore guarantee that they can fight in the third round for a chance at the quarterfinals against... Who's in the quarterfinal again? Azumarill and Azurill. Big hit off that Psychic Fangs, though, from Electivire onto CLEFABLE. First impression being used on the first turn is nice to see. Barely any damage there to CLEFABLE from Elekid, though. Now CLEFABLE has a chance to respond. CLEFABLE's going to go for growth and increase its attack and its special attack on the first turn. Give itself some extra firepower. Not a bad start at this stage in the game, because Cleffa and CLEFABLE need to equalize. They really do. If Electivire and Elekid take this round, then we just go to... Oh my god, searing shot from Cleffa. Then we just go to a Pride round, doing big damage to, well, not big damage, but doing a good chunk of damage to everybody on the field there. CLEFABLE already down to less than half its max HP, though. And now it's over to Electivire once again to start the next turn, and it's going to go for Forest's Curse and add the Grass type to CLEFABLE. So CLEFABLE is now Grass Fairy, which means it's 4 times weak to Poison type moves. That's worth noting. And of course, it's weak to fire, it's weak to flying, it's weak to ice now. Here's Poison Powder, doesn't affect CLEFABLE. So no Poison Powder right there. We see Magical Leaf from CLEFABLE onto Elekid there with same type attack bonus behind it now as well. And now we see Cleffa, who's going to follow up with Slack Off and Restore... Oh, it's HP's full. It's CLEFABLE that could have done with slacking off just there. Oh, of course the Poison Powder didn't work. It was against a Grass-type Pokemon, and Grass-type Pokemon aren't affected by the Powder moves now. That's right. We see Torment from Elekid. Great play there. Onto CLEFABLE, so it can use Metronome this turn, but next turn it will have to struggle and do 25% recoil damage to itself, and so on and so forth. We see High Horsepower from Electivire onto CLEFABLE there for a big chunk of damage. Even if CLEFABLE struggles this turn, it may knock itself out. Yeah, it's using Metronome this turn, goes High Horsepower. That would be super effective, though, on its opponent. Down goes Elekid, just like that. The static, though. Oh, the remnants of Elekid. Wow. So down goes Elekid, but leaves CLEFABLE with the paralysis there. Great showing by Elekid in this competition. We see Spore, but Vital Spirit means that Electivire cannot fall asleep. That's the hidden ability of the Electivire line. And now CLEFABLE will struggle on this turn if it gets through the paralysis and do 25% of its max HP as recoil damage. Here we see Electivire, though, who's going to go for Speed Swap. Interesting play right there, especially when you're moving first. Swap speed with CLEFABLE, so now it's the second fastest thing on the field. CLEFABLE's fully paralyzed, which does that mean that it can use Metronome on the next turn because of Torment? I don't know how it works. Here we see Superpower from Cleffa, though, onto Electivire for a decent chunk of damage when you consider it's from a Cleffa. Down goes its attack and its defense by one stage, though. Wow, now we know CLEFABLE's going to be the... Oh, no, the paralysis may affect its speed on the field. Yeah, Electivire is still the fastest thing on the field, even after the speed swap there with CLEFABLE. Goes for Bullet Punch, which will be super effective onto CLEFABLE. And that's big damage there. Down goes CLEFABLE. It's now Cleffa versus Electivire. I think we know how this one's going to go, but let's watch it play out. Here comes Cleffa. Cleffa's going to go for Power Trick. I don't know how smart that's going to be. So it's swapping its attack and its defense, right? Yeah, its attack and defense are switched. And its attack is 25 base, and its defense is 28 base. So gave itself 3 base extra attack. Okay, sure. Here comes Electivire, though, with agility, increasing its speed a little bit more. That's very interesting. Maybe because it had CLEFABLE speed at this point, so it wanted to increase it back up to more of what it was, maybe? Maybe it's that. Here comes Cleffa, though. Cleffa is going to go for Torment. Oh, turnabout is fair play. So Electivire now has to struggle at the end. At every other turn, it has to struggle. And then every other turn it can use Metronome. So now it's going to struggle. Let's see how much damage it does, though. That can't be good for Cleffa. Oh, it's almost half of Cleffa's max HP as recoil, as damage. So Cleffa needs to be careful right now. It goes for Acid Spray onto Electivire, but it really needs to make sure it can survive. Little bit of damage from that Acid Spray there. But it does drop the special defense harshly of Electivire. So theoretically, if Cleffa can take no damage on the next turn, it could absolutely take out Electivire right now. We see Stealth Rock. That's a wasted turn by Electivire and a free opportunity for Cleffa to mount some offense. I never thought we'd be watching a Cleffa go toe-to-toe with an Electivire. This is incredible. Cleffa is going to go for Acupressure and increase which of its stats right there. Oh my word, what is happening? Up go its stats. It's increased its defense by 2 stages, which I believe will protect it a little bit against the struggle that's about to happen from Electivire. Here comes Electivire with the struggle. Look at that. That's barely any damage compared to before. Electivire damaged by the recall and put in the danger zone. Cleffa is in with a chance right now. Goes for Magnet Rise, protecting itself against ground type moves. I mean, sure, go off, do what you need to do. But Cleffa is in a fantastic position right now. Can it go all the way though? Can it secure the equalizer? Here comes Electivire. It's one of the turns where it's not tormented and it can use Metronome. It goes for Tri Attack. Oh, that's a special attack though. That's not good for Cleffa. And Cleffa goes down. We are going to a Pride round. Well done to Cleffa. So this third round is purely for Cleffa and Clefable's Pride. 2-0 means that Electivire and Elekid are guaranteed to go to the quarterfinals to face Azurill and Azumarill. But what a showing by the Cleffa and Clefable team. Here comes Luna Dance. That fails from Elekid, and now over to Electivire. Cleffa, the workhorse of its team. We see Wild Charge from Electivire onto Cleffa there, putting it straight in the danger zone on turn 1. Electivire says, my work here is done. I want to go home, boy. And now here comes Clefable with an Ember onto Elekid there for a bit of chip damage and the burn. Clefable means business right now. Cleffa must be so disappointed. It was so close. It was probably one move away from taking out Electivire. There's a Fury Cutter for barely any damage, and there's the burn damage on Elekid. What an absolutely incredible performance that Cleffa had in round 2. That was one of my favorite exchanges in Metromania. Everybody watching knew that there was a little bit in there. There's holdback from Electivire onto Clefable. Everyone thought for a split second Cleffa was going to go all the way and secure that victory. We see Spark from Elekid onto which of its opponents? Onto Cleffa there. That's got to be enough. Down goes Cleffa. You've done so well. Have a good rest. And now it's just Clefable fighting for Pride against Electivire and Elekid. Here we see Safeguard from Clefable. Doesn't want to be taken out by any status conditions. It wants to win based on damage alone. And here we see Elekid getting a little bit more burn damage there. Really, really impressed with Cleffa in this round. Absolutely insane plays right there. That was fantastic. The Torment, the Acid Spray, just everything. We see Blue Flare avoided by Clefable, so Electivire's move does fail. And now over to Elekid, who follows up with Shadow Sneak. Nice straightforward. Little bit of chip damage with the Shadow Sneak there. There it is, just a tiny little bit. Maybe 4 or 5 hit points of damage on Clefable. And now Clefable looks to follow up with Attract, which doesn't affect Electivire. They are the same gender, and I don't make the rules. Pokemon make the rules. It's just a game mechanic for anyone that's offended by that. It's not that deep. It's literally just a game mechanic to, to make sure that people understand how that mechanic's going to work. It ain't that deep. Here we see Electivire going for Poison Fang, which will be super effective on Clefable there. Big damage, puts Clefable at less than half its max HP. Of course, the Safeguard is up, so no poison. And now Elekid looks to follow up with Defog and remove hazards, I believe. That's Defog, right? And lower evasiveness by 1 stage on the Clefable there. No more Safeguard, though, so Clefable got very, very lucky there with that Poison Fang turn. Clefable goes for Mud Slap, though. That's going to be super effective. On to Elekid there, and also will drop its accuracy by 1 stage. I believe Mud Slap is accuracy. Yeah, Mud Shot is speed, isn't it? And then Mud Bomb is... I want to say Mud Bomb special defense, but I'm not so sure now. Maybe Mud Bomb is speed. Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. You always do. I really appreciate all you lovely commenters. You help the channel. Although, don't use the word algorithm. Oh, Solar Beam from Elekid. Yeah, don't use the word algorithm. When you're giving me a comment to help me in the algorithm, using the word algorithm, I think, gets filtered out by YouTube, because then they know that that's not proper engagement. Here we see Scratch, though. Just tell me what you enjoyed in the video. That's the easiest way to leave a comment, is tell me either that you enjoyed the video, or specifically what it was you enjoyed, or anything, you know? Power Gem from Clefable onto Electivire there for big damage, and then more burn damage on Elekid, slowly wearing away at it. Clefable's chances here are not looking so fresh, but we've seen bigger turnarounds in Metromania, so I'm still holding out a bit of hope, although Liquidation from Electivire is going to do a fair bit of damage there. Big damage, down goes Clefable. It's a clean sweep, 3-0. Electivire and Elekid are moving on to face Azumarill and Azurill in the quarterfinals. Well done to them. Well done to that little Cleffa. I'm so proud of Cleffa, the MVP of this round, absolutely. And here are the new brackets for the quarterfinals. So don't forget, next week we'll see Snorlax and Munchlax, remember them, against Mantine and Mantyke.
So thanks for watching this episode of MetroMania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Share this video with a friend. Head over to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam so you never miss one of my lovely live streams 5 days a week, and use code ACE to save money on G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.